And we are back on the franchise for this Week 9 matchup against the Miami Dolphins, and we're still down in Florida after a crazy win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, and thankfully the weather is much better in this game because last week it was pouring pretty much non-stop and all sorts of weird things were happening. Now the Dolphins come into this game with only one win on the season, and as one of the NFL's weaker teams in terms of their record, if we can somehow get a win here today, we can definitely catapult ourselves back into the playoff hunt in the AFC. Now as we head down to the field to get into the action, the Jets will start their opening drive here at the 27-yard line. Bridgewater then takes the snap under center, hands it off to Le'Veon Bell looking for running room, and there is none, and after a 2-yard loss we're facing 2nd and 12. Bridgewater again from under center lays it up beautifully and connects with Herndon at the 45-yard line. That'll be a completion of 20 yards on Bridgewater's first pass of the day. The next play on 1st and 10, Bridgewater hits Bellamy on the screen. He makes the grab and is going to pick up 5 or 6 on the play, and that'll set us up just past midfield for 2nd down. Le'Veon Bell then gets the carry from Bridgewater looking for running room, and he'll get brought down after a 3, maybe 4-yard gain, bringing up 3rd and short. Bridgewater then takes the snap out of the gun with trips right and scrambles out of the pocket looking to make a play downfield, finds Herndon wide open for a nice completion, and that'll set up 1st and 10 from the 28. The Jets then line up in a heavy set. Bridgewater snaps it and hands it off to Bell, and he'll stumble forward for about 4 yards on the play, bringing up 2nd down. Next play, Bridgewater from the gun delivers a pass to Herndon on the crossing route in the middle of the field. He makes the grab, and that'll set us up at the 10-yard line. The Jets then look to spread the field, showing pass, but instead hand it to Bell up the middle, and he's going to walk right into the end zone untouched for an easy score, and just like that, we go up 7-0. Now, as we take a look at the Dolphins' opening drive, I got to apologize to you all. The gardeners are outside right now working, and they've kind of got the leaf blower going right near my window, so if you guys hear any of that noise outside, that's what's happening. But anyways, Fitzpatrick is going to get Jordan Jenkins to jump off sides with the hard count, and that's going to get the Dolphins 3rd and 5. Ryan Fitzpatrick is then going to find a wide open receiver downfield, and that'll move the Dolphins to the 44-yard line. Taking the snap under center now, Fitzpatrick throws it up and hits his tight end for a nice completion, and that'll move the Dolphins into Jets territory at the 38. So facing a 1st and 10 now, Fitzpatrick takes the snap out of the gun, hands it to Kenyon Drake, and he gets tackled by CJ Mosley after a 2-yard pickup. There was also a Dolphins injury on that play. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but Dwayne Allen was down and needed help from the training staff to get off the field. But once play resumed on 2nd and 8, Drake gets the handoff, and he'll almost pick up a 1st down but be marked 1 yard shy. But then on 3rd and 1, they give it to him again, and he easily picks up the 1st down, and now the Dolphins are officially threatening to score on this drive. Fitzpatrick then takes the snap in the gun with 4 wide and fires quick on the slant to Kenny Stills. He makes the grab and is finally game tackled at the 8-yard line. That'll set up Miami in the red zone for the first time today. They come out with the ground attack, handing it to Kenyon Drake, and he goes nowhere on the play, bringing up 2nd and goal. Fitzpatrick then takes the snap out of the gun. The Jets drop everyone back in coverage. Fitzpatrick's under pressure and is going to get sacked by Leonard Williams on the play. That is the ultimate definition of a coverage sack. We had all the receivers locked up, and by the time Ryan Fitzpatrick realized he had nowhere to go with it, it was already too late. This was a tremendous job by our secondary, which let Leonard Williams go to work, splitting the double team, and then blow right by Jesse Davis to get to Ryan Fitzpatrick for the sack. Now, after the sack by Williams, the Dolphins have 3rd and goal at the 20. Fitzpatrick is then forced to check it down to Drake, who tries to get as much yardage as possible, but the defense was able to hold Miami to 3 on that drive. Getting into our next drive on 2nd and 1, Bridgewater's under pressure immediately and gets brought down for the sack, and that'll set up a 3rd and long situation from the 25. The Jets then come out in the gun with 3 wide. The Dolphins dial up the blitz. Bridgewater throws it into coverage and is picked off. That was a heck of a play by Minkah Fitzpatrick. I did not expect for him to break on the ball like that, and it probably wasn't the best of reads either, but I made that play plenty of times, and I think if I would have gotten an accurate pass off, that definitely would have been a completion. But anyways, the Dolphins now have it on 2nd down at the 29, and Fitzpatrick gets sacked and fumbled, but Drake is right there to scoop it up, and he's going to turn that into a 2-yard gain. What a crazy play. But then on 3rd and long, Ryan Fitzpatrick lobs it up to his receiver, but the pass is broken up, and once again the defense does a good job at keeping Miami out of the end zone. So starting our next drive, we have got to do a better job at taking care of the ball, and that's a really good start as Le'Veon gains 12 on the play, and now we have it at the 47. Bridgewater working underneath, gets it to Jamison Crowder. He makes the grab plus some rack yardage plus a face mask penalty, and that's going to move us all the way up to the 17. But after 3 incompletions, we're forced to try for a field goal, but with no kick meter, that makes it next to impossible. Moving ahead a bit into our next series, Bridgewater takes a snap at the 49 and delivers a pass downfield that's caught by Herndon, and that's going to set up 1st and 10 at the 32. This is the perfect down and distance to take a shot. Bridgewater from the gun dials up the deep ball, throwing it up for Bellamy, but he can't come down with it, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Bridgewater takes a snap out of an empty set, finds a running lane, but the lane closes instantly, and Teddy B is brought down for no gain on the play. Looking at 3rd and 10 now. Once again, from an empty set, Bridgewater just checks it down to Crowder on the drag route, and he'll pick up 5 to give our kicker a closer attempt. So after the made field goal, we now lead 10-6, and we send our defense back on the field with the quarter winding down. Fitzpatrick then drops back looking for steals and is picked off. Avery Williamson has done it again, and the streak remains alive. That is now 8 interceptions for the season, and it's really gotten to the point where quarterbacks have to think twice throwing in his direction. But obviously, Fitzpatrick thought it was a good idea to put him to the test, but like we've seen many times throughout the season, Avery Williamson was ready for the challenge, and now the Jets will have great field position after the interception. Now, after the interception, we come out looking to be aggressive. Bridgewater sees the one-on-one coverage, looking for the end zone, and is caught by Emmanuel Hall. Just think, this very time last week, he was sitting on the Bears practice squad, and now he's on the active 53-man roster for the Jets catching touchdowns. That's exactly why I signed him. You got a 6'3" receiver matched up against a 5'9" corner. I'm throwing that every single time. Now, getting into our next drive after we force the 3 and out, Le'Veon takes the handoff off the right side and picks up 5 on the play, bringing up 2nd down from the 38. Bridgewater then drops back and finds Le'Veon Bell wide open on the angle route, and that'll move the chains up to the 24. The next play is a handoff to Grant up the middle. He picks up the 1st down, but takes a huge hit and fumbles the ball. Talk about horrible timing. We are marching all the way downfield in position to take a commanding lead, but instead we turn the ball over and give it right back to Miami. And Ryan Fitzpatrick wastes no time going to work, finding a wide receiver wide open downfield, and that'll move the chains down to the 49. The next play, Fitzpatrick's looking to work it underneath to his tight end, but Avery Williamson is right there to break up the pass, and that was a pretty crazy sequence too, because we both bobbled the football at least twice before it hit the ground. That was wild. But anyways, after the short completion to O'Leary, the Dolphins have a 3rd and 8. Fitzpatrick finds another wide open receiver that's Kenny Stills on the grab, and that'll extend the drive and take us into the 4th quarter. Moving ahead a couple plays now to 3rd and 10, the Dolphins O-line is blocking like they're the best in the league, giving Fitzpatrick all day in the pocket to find a wide open receiver, and that'll eventually lead to this. On 2nd and goal, Fitzpatrick takes the snap and drops back and throws an easy completion for a touchdown. So after our defense does a great job of keeping the Dolphins out of the end zone the entire game, we finally give them a touchdown in the 4th quarter, and then we give up a 2-point conversion immediately following that. Things are definitely getting interesting now because we only have a 3-point lead, and on the ensuing kickoff, check out what happens. After Jamison Crowder gets tackled, he tries to get up and immediately realizes that something is wrong and is forced to stay down with an injury. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on later. But as we get into our next series on 2nd and 12, Teddy Bridgewater is sacked on the play, and that'll knock the offense back 5 yards to 3rd and 17. Bridgewater then drops back and floats one high to Emmanuel Hall, and the completion will be good for a gain of 14. But it brings up 4th down. We send the kicker out to try a 61-yard field goal. The kick is up, it's got the distance, and it is good. Chandler Catanzaro stepped up and drilled a 61-yard field goal. I gotta give this man a highlight. Albeit it was wind dated, I don't think that matters much to Catanzaro. That thing had enough distance on it, it probably would have been good from 65 yards. So with that, we take a 20-14 lead, and we've just received word from our medical staff on Jamison Crowder. His status has been officially downgraded to out with an upper arm fracture. So that'll likely put his season in jeopardy, but as we get back to the gameplay here, Fitzpatrick goes deep and is almost picked off by Jamal Adams, but the incompletion brings up 3rd and 3. Fitzpatrick goes quick and finds his tight end, but he fumbles the ball, and Leonard Williams is right there to pick it up. And that will do it, folks. The final in this one is 23-14, as we end up surviving yet another interesting game down in Florida. But what makes this victory bittersweet is the loss of Jamison Crowder, and the worst part about that is there isn't anything that I can do to replace him. The trade deadline passed last week, so I'm kind of stuck. I'm either going to have to go look at free agency and bring in a guy off the street, or maybe look to promote somebody that's already on the roster. I don't know, it's definitely something to figure out. But anyways, folks, that's all the time I've got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.